I'm in Fort Owens, and it's actually 9:15 and closing time is 9:11 or 9 o'clock, so I really should be leaving. You can see Fort Owens is not a big place, and it's kind of amazing to think that when the Nez Perce were coming through the Bitterroot Valley, the settlers were so concerned about alterations breaking out between the Nez Perce that they sent many of the settlers set their wives and children to stay here as protection. And apparently there were 245 women and children staying here for 3 weeks while the whole Nez Perce situation was passing through. So it really goes to show just how concerned the settlers were of major uprisings from the Nez Perce. And it was about the last use of the fort. The fort had almost lost its use up in 1877 as more and more settlers arrived to the Bitterroot Valley. There was less need for protection, ironically, because they protected themselves, just safety in numbers. But with the Nez Perce coming through, they were very concerned that there'd be a uprising. They didn't even know if the Flathead might join the Nez Perce, and there would just be a major uprising. So it served a very important purpose for the local people as far as protection against a potential rising of the Nez Perce, which did not occur. The Nez Perce came through the Bitterroot Valley, and they basically kept to their word of not attacking. They did pillage one cabin, and Chief Lookingglass was extremely upset that had occurred, and he ordered that the warriors that did that go back to the cabin and compensate the cabin's owner with a bunch of horses, which they did. But the cabin owner was still very upset, and he actually was so upset that he fought with the soldiers at Big Hole Battlefield, which is coming up, and he actually died. He was shot, and his brother was shot as well. So here we are at Fort Owen in Bitterroot Valley in Montana, the great state of Montana, along the Nez Perce Trail.
And white lightning still the biggest thrill.
There's my neighbor, Stevensville, Montana. Well, I'm in the town of Stevensville, and I think I'd alluded earlier that Stevensville was more of a historic town, and I was completely wrong. It's a vibrant, bustling town. When the Nez Perce came through, many of them came into the town here and purchased a lot of supplies. And as I stated earlier, everybody was kind of on pins and needles, hoping that nothing would happen. All it would take is one shot, and everything could fall apart and break loose into a major battle. But nothing of the sort did happen, actually. In fact, the Nez Perce said that the white settlers treated them nicely, and they came through. They bought provisions, and with the U.S. Army on their tail behind them, they still found time to come into town and fill up on flour and a lot of foodstuffs in the town of Stevensville. Been walking Highway 93 now for 3-4 days, and I'm now south of Darby, a couple miles, probably about 8-10 miles south of Darby. And in the book here, following the Nez Perce Trail, it talks about a medicine tree, and here it is. When the book was written in the late 1980s, made it sound like the tree was still alive, but dying, and unfortunately it looks like it has died. The tree was significant to the native population because there was a mountain goat head horn, not a head, but a horn sticking out of the tree, and it had actually, the tree had grown over it, and then years later somebody cut the horn off. But over years the Flatheads and the Nez Perce, when they came by, they would leave a gift, and to this day you can see that people have been leaving gifts by the medicine tree. And brought my own gift. They suggest that you bring something that you found along the way. This is a tooth off of that beaver skull that I found. It's one of the rear teeth. And maybe it'll give me good luck. In my last movie blog about the medicine tree, I said that there was a goat's head that had been placed in the tree, and the tree grew around it. I was incorrect. It was a bighorn mountain sheep horns that had been placed in the tree when it was young, and it had grown around it. This is a nice, very informative kiosk along the roadside talking about the bighorn sheep, and they've made quite a dramatic comeback since the early 1900s, when they were hunted very widely, and even worse than that, they had many of them died of pneumonia, which they got from domestic sheep. And to this day, it's a big problem keeping the domestic sheep from the bighorn sheep. And there go the Harleys. They've been driving by all day today, coming up on 4th of July weekend, and the highway's very active, 93, and I'm heading south, going to Highway 43 up to Wisdom. Onward ho!